Hey, we don't say f at the table, you little asshole.
What's up, household? How are you doing? And thank you for joining us here again on a Tuesday where we cover Monday Night Raw. It's the Monday Night Raw recap show with me, the voice, and one of my good buddies, Kevin Kalloway. He is the Chaos Goblin. How are you doing tonight, Kevin?
I'm doing all right tonight. Ready to talk some Raw.
Do you ever watch Home Alone and when the mom yells Kevin when she realizes that she's missing him, you jump and look around?
No, but whenever someone says Kevin around me, I immediately knee-jerk reaction to them. That does happen. Not on movies. Movies doesn't happen that way, but people around me, absolutely. If there are, God forbid, there are 3 Kevins in a wrestling locker room, I will answer to all of them.
You don't want that. That's too many Kevins in one room.
Too many Kevins in one place.
Beautiful. Well, I'm happy to see you again here on a Tuesday, my friend. Getting ready to talk some Monday Night Raw, but we have a new recruit, a new hostage that House has acquired across the country. He's collecting UK hostages as we speak. So he is Bruzzi, our friend. How goes it, Bruzzi? How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I hope y'all are.
Yeah, we are doing well. And Nightwing's out here. He's doing well.
Speaking of UK.
Speaking of UK, yeah, there's our first hostage out of the UK, Nightwing. And stay tuned to the website, fans. We just got the write-up from Nightwing from his night out at Rev Pro. We're going to be having that up out on the website. That is inyourhowse.com. Go check it out, where you can catch all the schedules, everything we do, blogs, merch, anything that our friends are doing, you can get a link to and see. So go join that. Go have fun over there. It's a fun little website that we started out, and it's got a lot of information. Speaking of information, and it's not useless, Kevin. Let me tell you that.
No.
These are just, this is a segment we got going now since we got our first hostage. Me and Kevin, we've been hostages for quite a while now.
I upgraded from hostage to warden.
Warden, exactly.
Very recently.
He does have some keys.
Yeah. Oof.
But we like to bring the new recruits in and, give them a little shine. And Bruzzi, we got a little segment that you do, so I'm going to let you take it away because I didn't even tell you fuckers that I did some things before. And let's get into your trivia, Bruzzi.
Well, first of all, I would like to say we started this 3 weeks ago with the trivia, and Raw has started their Raw facts for the past 2 weeks. So I just want to say I'm the trend center, and they decided to copy me.
I like it.
For this week's Raw trivia, which legendary wrestler faced The Rock on Monday Night Raw only one time in a singles match? Was it A, Hulk Hogan, B, Ric Flair, C, Dusty Rhodes, or D, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat?
All right, fans, you see it right up there on the screen. We got it. I found the new trivia app for this, so we got that going on there. So fans, why don't you take a moment, reach out, and figure out what you're gonna answer to this one. Bruzzi's got the question and the answers right there. We'll continuously run this out throughout the show, and then at the end of the show, we will give you the answer. And by then, don't be a cheating son of a bitch and Google it. Let's play a respectable game here, or the wardens will hit us. So let's keep it above par,
and
guys.
I was just made warden, so I will hit you.
He will definitely hit you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So watch out for Kevin. And Nightwing's already answering. He says B. He's going with B. There you go. Nightwing's got a B in there. Good job, Nightwing. The old son of a gun answering. Fighting's one is saying C, obviously. Well, we got an obviously in there. So
Okay.
Fighting's one, thank you for joining us here. All right, fellas. We had SummerSlam. Bruzzi, did you catch SummerSlam?
I am sticking to my guns and only watching Raw, so I only kept up with the recap.
Okay, well, that's something. So we'll be able to introduce you into the conversation. Usually after a PLE, Bruzzi, me and Kevin spend at least a little bit of the show discussing it, especially if it's a big event like SummerSlam, WrestleMania, such as those things. So let's get into it. Kevin, give us a real quick rundown of what you liked, what you didn't. You know, your little quick recap that you do so well.
Sure.
Let's hear it.
SummerSlam Night 2 was definitely better than Night 1, in my opinion. Not that Night 1 didn't have its moments, but just that Night 2 felt like it had bigger moments. If I were, I don't know, because this trend happened with Mania now too when it was 2 nights. Mm-hmm. I'm real worried they're settling into, hey, Saturday, fuck it. We'll put together a card. And then Sunday will be the actual one that they're like trying to make sure that it sends everyone home happy. And they're taking their more speculative routes on Saturday. And I don't like that thought process. If you're going to do 2 nights, you got to make both of them fucking good. Not one being, good to great.
One shouldn't be a preliminary.
Yeah, like I see UFC fight nights all the time, and there's preliminary matches, and sometimes they're good, sometimes they're dog shit. Yep. I don't want that to be the case when it comes to these PLEs. That being said, I thought Night 1 was okay. Man, I don't know what Punk was thinking doing a moonsault.
He wasn't.
I wouldn't. Yeah. I think he's trying to do something different, and it just. I think so. All right, Punk, like I say all the time, I think is one of the better workers that they have, and definitely one of the best on the mic. And I don't think that that's really that big of a stretch to say. That being said, I think sometimes in this run, he's trying to do things that he would have been able to do much better 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I think you could stick to the CM Punk style like you had at the Mania match, and you could be just fine going forward. You don't need to pull out moonsaults. First of all, it wasn't a main event fighting. Main event was the Hell in a Cell. Correction there. It was one of the worst one of the worst moonsaults I've seen in a WWE Championship match, though.
Someone said it was a tribute to Terry Funk.
It kind of was, in the sense that that's what Terry did when he was older too, and the moonsault didn't look. Terry did it more often, so he hit it more often. But there were times where Terry hit it just like fucking Punk did, unfortunately, too.
Looked like his knee when it crossed Cody's face, almost.
No, I watched it back a couple times because the internet was trying to show like slow motion pictures of it. His body went across. He never hit Cody in the head.
Gotcha.
Because some of the stills really did look like the knee was coming down. But when you saw the frames on some of the replay aspects or some of the other angles, it didn't. His stomach went across his head. He missed entirely, but it did not hit him in the head with a knee. The Hell in a Cell itself too. I liked the Hell in a Cell, but that could have been a singles match with a no holds barred stipulation, and I think we could have been just fine with it. I think we could have gotten more out of the Cell, and I think that's the biggest thing. I didn't really have to. I liked Aldis. I really liked Aldis and Gunther. Very old school territory style match. I liked that one a lot. That was one of my favorite matches actually of the weekend. And it was very simple. It was very direct. It felt like a pro wrestling match in a sea of entertainment matches. Night 2, I know everyone's raving about the main event. It wasn't for me for the last 10 minutes. It just wasn't. For 25 minutes, they went out there and they had a pretty good wrestling, or actually they had a good to great wrestling match, in my opinion. And then for 10 minutes, they did a cinematic experience, and it took me completely out of it at the end. I am fine with people understanding, like, hey, this was a great match for them and the story that they were behind it. I understand the story they were going for. In a pro wrestling match, to me, if you are going to do 10 minutes of looking at a chair, oh my God, is the chair going to hit? Oh my God, no. Oh, he let go of the chair. And then you don't follow it up with the goddamn finish right away. You're dragging. And you were dragging to get there in the first place. And it felt more like I was watching a Lifetime movie in the middle of a wrestling match, and I didn't really like that part. Again, that's personal preference. I think it just really took away from the moment for me and took away from the rest of a very good and well-paced match, especially for a Roman match. Roman matches are usually slow and plodding, which, you know, when he was a heel is fine, but when he's a face, it becomes more of an issue. The main event, I have no issue with people saying that it was great. It just was not for me because it didn't feel like a pro wrestling match at some point. It felt like people trying to eat scenery and try out for Hollywood.
Yeah.
I loved Chelsea Green getting the title. That was fucking great. Huge props to her. One of the best workers that they have on the card, and has done something with everything that she's been given. Kevin Owens returned, literally made Annie cry next to me, which was the emotion of a lot of people. It was awesome to see him back, especially after almost a career-ending injury for 15 months.
Yeah, I didn't know he was out that long.
I didn't realize it either. But when I saw the statistic, I'm like, oh my God, he really could have been out forever. And then Chad and Penta, I think, had a little bit more in them, but the main event, needed 10 more minutes to sell a chair. So the match itself was good. The 12 minutes that they had was really, really good. But I feel like they had 4 or 5 left in them. Keep the match hot. I don't need a goddamn 25-minute banger from them. I'm sure they can, but that's not what I needed from them for that moment. I think 15 would have sufficed a little bit better, got them to the peak, and then got them out of there. But no, we needed 10 more minutes for the fucking main.
Fair point.
And it took Roman goddamn 3 or 4 minutes to get to the ring by himself. So there was that too. But that was kind of how I felt about SummerSlam. I liked both nights. Night 2 was certainly stronger. I liked the Night 1 main event more only because the Night 2 one brought me all the way up here like it was going to be better for me, and then the movie killed it for me. Overall, I'd say SummerSlam was about probably B-, maybe a C+ for me. There was some things that were nice, awesome to see, good action, and then there were other times where I was taken out for some reason or another, whether that have been advertisements placed poorly, whether that have been the matches itself, moments within the matches, things like that. Overall, I enjoyed it.
Good. I mean, that was Kevin's take on it. I mean, if anybody was looking for anything else, you're sadly mistaken. It's Kevin. So yeah, Kevin, I completely seen exactly what you were talking about with every beat you were talking. And like you always say, everybody's personal choice on this is their personal choice, and the way Kevin's brain works is, as a booker, he will break down the fucking match. If you tell him to watch it, he's going to break it the fuck down. So that's why we appreciate Kevin, and thank you so much for giving your insight on SummerSlam. Because it's a little hard for Kevin to get out more of his thoughts because he's only on one show regularly. Yeah, he appears on other shows every so often. So that's why I always give it to Kevin first when we have a PLE, because I like to hear what he actually had to think, because he's got that booker mind. Bruzzi.
Yep.
Quick thoughts. I know you don't ever have a long thought.
I can't. That wasn't made that way. The little bit I do like what he said about the entrances. I don't know why everybody now has, not everybody, but most everybody has to have an Undertaker like entrance and take 20 minutes to get to the ring, especially Roman. Shout out to my dad in the chat, Tar Heel Man 1957. He got me the shirt.
Hell yeah.
Appreciated that. Also, with these Seth and Roman, they're in such a feud, and then at the end they put their fists together and it's over, and they've got the mask representing Dean Ambrose or John Moxley, and I'm like, I don't know, that just they make it seem like he's dead. He's not dead. He's in another company. He'll probably be back again one day. It's like, guys, just do your thing, and why do you always got to bring him in? He has nothing to do with this, but those are my thoughts.
I would actually generally agree with that, Bruzzi. We don't need to make a bunch of goddamn Dean Ambrose references. We haven't really referenced him a lot since he's been gone to AEW. Why now? Just to try and wrap it up in people's heads and do a cool little shout out.
Yeah.
But then people are just going to do whatever they do with it. And it's just like, you could have just had this as Seth versus Roman.
Right.
And called that the Shield. Like, I get there was a third member, but he gone.
Right. It's not like a Bray Wyatt issue. I mean, Bray Wyatt tragically died, but it's like, what?
Yeah.
Well, the same could be said back in the day when the Click did their thing in New York. It's kind of like, why? And then they would secretly shout each other out throughout their careers. Yeah, I get it. At this point in time, though, the generations that are watching wrestling now, they're like, who the fuck are they talking about? Who is Dean Ambrose? You know, those guys watching now, the younger generation, all they know is Moxley, and that's only if they know of AEW. So I get where you guys are coming from there. Anthony, Kevin did go over that. Yes, he did think it was too long.
10 minutes too long is generally how I felt. I think they could have done what they were doing in 5 minutes. I wouldn't have even done that 5 minutes. Kind of my thought process in the end. It just didn't need the extra chair shot stuff. I just don't think it needed it. And then fighting as well. Chelsea, I think, understands that this title is basically the World Women's title right now. I get that they're putting interim in front of it, so I do understand. And they should have just stripped Rhea of it in general. That's how they've always done it. I don't know why they wouldn't here. You can just give Rhea the title back when she comes back if that's the play. That being said, I'm treating the interim championship just like they do in UFC. The interim champion is the world champion.
They are.
It's just that the world champ who was there prior gets a shot when they get back, basically. That's how I would determine it.
Yeah.
It's a Razor versus Shawn situation.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't like interim titles in pro wrestling personally. I don't think they work as well because it does feel worse. But in UFC, it's different because UFC, they need people to keep defending those, event to event to event to event. In WWE, you do too, but you don't need to give. It's not a legitimate sport, and you haven't been treating it like a legitimate sport in ages. So why on this hill do you die?
Yeah.
Well, I think they're getting ahead of the curve for when Rhea does come back and is...
Sure.
I mean, even if they didn't title it this, they were going to give her a title shot. I mean, it's Rhea Ripley. Why, when she comes back, why wouldn't that be the first thing you do?
Why wouldn't it be the first match anyway?
Yeah, exactly. So I think they're getting out ahead of it because we all understand the internet is full of dipshits with opinions and... Nobody's chopped off their thumbs. We are three of them, and if somebody showed up at my doorstep and was like, you know what, we've all decided your thumbs are gone, I'd be like, you know what, that does make sense. There's some wild shit I have said. I get you, and I would comply. I would just take them, donate them.
You wouldn't be the voice without that.
Well, I mean,
And also, Metal
in a
Mike
way.
might be right too, in the sense that Chelsea might have just won this, and she might lose it in the next month, and I don't think that would be a big deal.
Yeah.
Chelsea's character doesn't lend
She's
itself
great.
to. She's
I think-
great, and she's gonna keep doing things and look good no matter what. She isn't. She's never been presented as the legitimate badass competitor. Could she be? Sure. But there's also people who have bigger characters who need those things more. And she ends up finding a niche that is way better for her because no one else can do her niche. So she's going to be employed for fucking ever.
Yeah. Yeah. The only thing I have an issue with the Chelsea Green thing is the story that they were building. It did not point anywhere towards her. And I was kind of looking forward to Charlotte. I think Charlotte kind of
I think we're going to end up with a Tiffy heel turn because of it.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
Which,
And I think that's what they need to do. They have Jade as a top heel over on SmackDown. Who else do they have on SmackDown as a top? Because Nia and Lash aren't built to that point at this point.
no. Yeah, there's some holes missing in the roster on both.
I think we're gonna see a Tiffy heel. I think that's my wager.
Hit Tiffy heel time.
Yeah, I hope she pulls it out. I hope she really does well in that. She's a fantastic talent in the ring, and
Yeah.
she gets it slowly but surely. She's understanding the world of wrestling. All right, speaking of the world of wrestling, guys, why don't we jump into talking Monday Night Raw? And Bruzzi, I know how you get all ego hurt and stuff when I don't let you go first. We seen it in the last segment with the SummerSlam. You threw a fit. I mean, fans, I can show you the screenshots of the words he said. They're not nice. So we'll let you go first and hear what you have to say about this Monday Night Raw. What did you want to talk about this week, Bruzzi?
I would like to talk about how this version of the Bloodline sucks.
Oh, buddy, I'm here for it. Let's go. That was gonna be my topic. I love that for us.
Yes. Well,
Let's go.
The only two things that I like about this version is Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns has just got an aura, but you would think this would be like an all-time faction because of how popular they were a couple years ago. But they're like a flat tire. There's nothing there. You got Roman scolding them in the back. Jacob Fatu's carrying with the intensity, I think. He feels more like a dangerous person in the group right now. He's got a street fight. He carried himself as an unstoppable monster. I really like the Royce Keys match. I feel like Royce Keys he main evented Monday Night Raw, and he hasn't really been there that long, in my opinion. When did he show up? Was it
Royal Rumble.
Was it Royal Rumble? Okay, so that's almost 8 months. But yeah, and also just a side note, Jacob Fatu, another Samoan thing. He can just make matches whenever he wants.
Yeah, yes.
He just made a street fight.
Yeah. Bloodline can just book whatever match they want, brother.
I'm just street fight tonight. We're gonna do it. Let's just do it.
Would you tell Jacob Fatu if he came into your office? No.
I would do my best to keep him out of my office.
Yeah. So
I would prefer he just walk to the ring and say, "You and me street fight."
yeah. Well, I could understand that.
Oh man, Roman, he still feels like a star, but not necessarily the leader. I feel like that's Fatu again. The Usos feel like supporting characters, and they really are. But again, I bring it up every week how much I can't stand the Usos. And again, Jimmy is the better of the two Usos, but it's just, bleh. I don't know any other way to put it. But they're missing a big enemy. I don't know who the big enemy for the Bloodline is. I think it's going towards LA Knight, which I really like, and I really like that first promo of the night with him and Roman getting into it over a Walmart watch versus whatever watch Roman's wearing that's worth a lot more money. Okay.
Sears.
Was it Sears?
I don't know.
Either way.
But I do like the opening promo that Roman had. and LA Knight does look like he's going to be a formidable opponent for him if that's the route they go. But then again, you saw the end with Rey Mysterio in AAA, so I don't know what's happening with that.
Well, there's a big show coming up for AAA.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah, Triple Mania.
Yeah, they're running up against AEW, so
Gotcha.
They're counter-programming the hell out of it.
My guess is, like OG Tony said, with them doing that, they're probably setting up for either an appearance of Roman or maybe him and Dom have a match in at that. Who knows? Who knows what the fuck they're gonna do? But yeah, there's I've seen a lot of people really buy into that idea, and they're floating it, but I think they forgot about the AAA event that's happening that, you know, they're teaming up with them on. So, Bruzzi, I want to say, even though Kevin also picked this form of the topic, it's a very astute watching for somebody who hasn't been watching as regularly as we have. I'm liking how you're seeing how Jacob is actually, his ship is rising.
Yeah.
Especially over Jay. To me, Jay, again, is the one that's getting the short end of the stick out of this entire Bloodline chapter. He just, and I don't know if it's the writing or it's himself, because Jimmy's not soaring as high as Jacob, but he's still in the back. I'm wanting to see more Jimmy matches. So his single matches, that's what I'm wanting to see. But I like that. I like where your mind's at. I like how you're understanding the assignments, and you actually have a really good opinion. It might not be a popular opinion with the masses, but it's a good opinion, and I like where your head's at with that. Kevin, first, give your thoughts on what Bruzzi had to say, and then I know you're in the same realm with this topic, so then bleed right into what you wanted to talk about with it.
I agree with most, if not all, of Bruzzi's points. The only one I would slightly disagree with is that this has risen Fatu's stock. I think he's the same. I don't think, because he's getting treated like an underling. He's getting just yelled at and getting told by Roman. And then he just goes out there and does Roman's bidding. And then Roman stands at the entryway and goes, "Ha, he did it. Cool. You just proved nothing." You proved that you were already an unstoppable dude when you were already an unstoppable dude without fucking Roman.
Yeah.
You're back to square goddamn one, Fatu. And even worse still, we got Roman. Look, to me, if I'm looking at this as a TV product and an entertainment product, I take star power out of it for a second. And I know that's impossible in wrestling. So, and I know it's going to be a little bit different because of this. If I take star power out of this, pretty much everything Roman does is a despicable piece of shit move. He is ducking challengers. He is trying to not defend because they're not worth his time. He's yelling at his subordinates. He's basically forcing them by gunpoint to do whatever he says to. This guy's a heel. This guy's a bad guy. Yeah. Yet he comes out there every single week and everyone just wants to chant.
OTC.
Yeah, they just want to chant. And at this point, WWE has written themselves into a corner where, like, the only time people get heel heat now is when they're cool heels. And cool heels don't fucking work in the end. They just don't. Because nobody will believe it. Nobody's actually booing Dominic Mysterio anymore. Nobody.
Well, Jonathan Coachman is.
Sure. Jonathan Coachman can boo whoever he wants. He can boo-hoo all the way to the goddamn farm.
Oh, he is. Don't you worry.
And I'm sure he will. And I'm sure he will. And that's fine. That is his prerogative as his opinion. But, and the prerogative of this opinion in general is that we have Roman Reigns, who is supposed to be an effective babyface coming out of WrestleMania, right? That's what it was. It was babyface versus babyface. Now, ever since WrestleMania, we have systematically taken away more of the babyfaceness from him. and we have instead replaced it with the same shit that we've gotten every single year for the last 4 goddamn years. I have bloodline fatigue. I'm done with it. It was to a point, and I hate to say this, I didn't watch the main event. I couldn't handle another bloodline segment. So I did not watch Royce Keys versus Fatu. I couldn't handle it.
It was the one time to watch it because there was no bloodlines out there except Roman at the end.
Anything involved with I watched the ending.
Yeah.
I fast forwarded
the
through
ending.
12 minutes of the match, and I watched the ending, and I watched the post segment.
Okay.
I don't know what we're doing with Royce at this point, but he doesn't matter in the sense of we're trying to get the bloodline over, and I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really like how they've just utilized Royce in a way where it's just like, but we're family. And then Fatu just kills him, and he keeps saying, but we're family. And just like, dude.
Nah.
We could have Royce as a powerhouse. Instead, we don't.
Kevin, you're hitting on some great things. And before we get into the chat and we expand upon that, let me give you my opinion on this, Kevin.
Sure.
Especially with the Roman topic that you're speaking of, because I understand where your head's at with the cool bad guy. And
can I clarify the cool bad guy real quick?
Yes.
Because Anthony does have a point in the sense that cool bad guys worked in the past. Cool bad guys worked in the past when people believed wrestling was real. They don't anymore. Yeah. So if you're a cool bad guy, it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
Never is too strong of a word. I spoke in a I forget the word definitive. I spoke in a definitive and I shouldn't have. I'll correct myself.
Well, we'll get you a definitive stone and you can cast all the spells to get rid of it. But yeah, I get what you're saying. And to go on top of what you just clarified, that was in an era where the magic of wrestling still worked. The magic is gone. We get their stories. We choose to fall for those stories. Back then, they were more worked to us for us to get to. You know what I mean? Like, we weren't expecting them. Like that ladder match between him and Shawn. No, that was a first in a lifetime to see it done at that level. You know, so there was a magic there. Now, a ladder match is a ladder match. We've seen them. We expect them to do these specific spots. But I like to liken Roman to Tony Soprano and the way that he ran his family. And you can kind of see it too, because Tony would go often into this babyface scenario in which America fell in love with Tony Soprano. Oh, he was the cool bad guy. You know, he was doing things that were just, you know, that we might not want to do them, but they were needed to be done to correct things. And then he got a little to where he was fucking anything that walked, snorting anything that would fit in his nose, and eating food at abundance. And then he was just doing shit because you were getting in his way, much like his nephew Christopher. He fucking killed Christopher. I still fucking hate you for that, Tony Soprano. You son of a bitch. Anyways,
he deserved it.
He did not. You shut up, Bruzzi. I will get a plane ticket right now. Anyways, I liken that to Roman, because Roman right now he's doing the things where everybody around him is seeking his approval and he's only giving it to one guy. And it's causing a lot of issues to at least one of the two that have been there since day one. And I think that's what's going to bite Roman in the ass in this chapter of the story. I
mean, he's going to get usurped, because if he doesn't get usurped, what are we doing here?
What's the point?
True.
What's the point of any of this?
True.
My general issue is that it's just not entertaining getting there. I'm going to be real entertained once it happened.
Yeah.
Or once it happens. But getting there has been a slog for me, has been the problem. We could fortune tell exactly what's going to happen to this iteration of the bloodline, and that's that Fatu is going to turn on Roman.
Yeah.
Come on.
Curveball.
If we don't do that,
Jey
what are
Uso.
we doing here? I mean, Jey Uso Well, you know what? No. I wouldn't. Don't put that past them. They could have Jey Uso turn first and be like,
God.
I can't follow the family anymore. I can't follow the family anymore. And then Fatu kills the Usos. That's what would happen.
Yeah.
And then eventually Fatu would have to turn on Roman. Now, I think the problem that they might run into, and I don't know if this will happen, but I just know how star power works in WWE right now and in wrestling in general, really. Because a lot of people don't really care for face or heel as much anymore. They just kind of do whatever, and especially at the top of the card, it's just like, we are stars, not faces or heels. Will Jacob Fatu's star power rival Roman by the time we get there?
No.
That's the problem. People will still cheer Roman.
Yep. And Anthony, to answer your question, absolutely not. Austin was fighting the authority and everybody who was keeping him down. Roman is the authority. So I understand where you're coming from, because that's one that gets mixed up a lot, where people are like, well, Stone Cold Steve Austin. I get that. Stone Cold Steve Austin's a unicorn, and you're just painting a donkey and putting a horn on its head.
That's blue collar versus white collar. That's always been a thing. And people in wrestling are blue-collar families that tend to go watch it. They're not, people in office buildings and go watch wrestling and watch the gladiators. Like, that's just not how traditionally entertainment has worked. So when blue-collar people go see a blue-collar guy beat the holy teetotaling shit out of their boss, who they also dislike their bosses at their blue-collar jobs, now you have something else. Austin could have kicked McMahon in the dick 20 times in a row and it wouldn't have mattered because of what he represented. But Roman, in this case, Voice is right. Roman is the authority. He is making the matches. He is taking the initiative. He is the one making the calls. In Austin's case, he wasn't.
Yeah.
Vince was.
Yeah, exactly. And just to wrap it up with Jacob in that scenario, I think right now Jacob's Furio from The Sopranos. He's a loyal dog to you because you're his boss.
Yep.
But oh man, in the back of his head, he still has that title. He has the wanting to be the boss, and if the opportunity appeared correctly, he will take it. So I get where everybody's at. I myself have grown a little tired. I don't watch a lot of the backstage stuff when it comes to the bloodline, except in the highlights, just because I watch it to watch wrestling. And honestly, SummerSlam for me, I loved both nights because this PLE, I decided I just want to go back and be a fan.
Yep.
And I just want to watch wrestling. And Liv and Io, you two made SummerSlam for me with your guys' match. The way you guys were able to take a storyline that looked like nobody gave a shit about creating it, and they had one of the best matches of both nights for me. I just really enjoyed it and loved the fact that they took that story and really made it a beautiful picture in that ring. Okay, so for me, and what I want to discuss the women's division and who we got who's back. We have Becky Lynch back, the man. She's back and she's more fired up than ever. And we also have somebody who I said I am ready for this person to be back right now. I don't give a shit. Get her in the ring. And Stephanie Valkyrie is back. I had a lot of reservations about her during her first big main event run. Okay. And it was mostly just because some of the moves in the ring on the main stage, it kind of reminded me too much of NXT quality. Sure. She slowly stepped it up until her injury. But I'm excited to see her back because at the end of the day, a lot of people can say all they want about Liv and how she didn't defend that title for 100 days. But again, I have to go back to who was in the roster that would have been a legitimate opponent for her at the time?
It was only EO.
Yeah, there was only EO, and you're not going to waste that on a random Monday Night Raw when you don't have to. You save that for SummerSlam because of the way you built EO's story to get to that moment. It really bugs me when they read too far into the story. It's a story. They're telling a story. There's a reason why Liv didn't defend for this long, and they're telling that in the story. Yep. Now the competition's there. She's going to be defending that title. I guarantee it, quicker than 100 days.
Well, it could have been concussion or injury related that Liv was holding on to it too, and they couldn't have. At that point, what do you do? Do you have two interim women's champions?
Yeah.
Because that would look way worse.
Yeah, now you're kicking yourself in the dick all over the place.
But you're right. Liv works in that scenario because she's a chicken shit heel. And chicken shit heels can avoid defending the title and then get called out for it. And it works. And that's what Becky did.
Guys, let's put a quick pin in this discussion because we have a fan who it doesn't seem like they're having a very good time with wrestling. Let's bring this up. We got Daniel in here. Kevin, why don't you go ahead and break this down for us?
Break it down.
All right. He is fed up with WWE. He is fed up with AEW, and he is fed up with TNA. Now, if we're breaking it down, okay, let me take guesses as to why. I like guessing and meandering. WWE, my guess, and this is generally the issue that most people have at this point, is that it's too commercialized. And it is not as much about the wrestling and it's more about the talking. Now, WWE has always been trending that direction since about, I don't know, before the Attitude Era. It has, however, gotten way more in our face. And that has felt worse. And most people are getting ad fatigue, especially. Someone mentioned earlier that Chad Gable, the mug beer dude,
Horrible placement.
A lot. It was not good placement. I get that you want to do the mug root beer shit. It was bad placement. And I've seen a couple workers online, some of them my friends, like when fans were complaining about it, they'd be like, but I bet his paycheck looked good. It's like, yeah, I bet it was. But like the fan perception is also important here. I get that even if Chad Gable didn't feel some kind of way about it, and he's like, oh, this is just how it works. Fan perception is important here too. And they're trying to go on this journey with people, right? They're trying to go on this emotional ride. And then all of a sudden a mug root beer guy comes up and they do a goddamn Stone Cold salute with mug root beer. What are we telling the fans?
Imagine reading a book and then there's an advertisement right after the sentence.
You know what? I'll go further. Imagine you're reading a book and you got to this big climax where the dude just beat the wizard or whoever the fuck he was facing, slayed the dragon. And then he's sitting there, he's back at his home, he's with his family, and then all of a sudden there's an ad read. It's just, what are we doing here? So WWE tends to be that from what I've seen from people. AEW has been different in the sense that AEW goes very, very far with a lot of their moves and a lot of their matches to a point where a lot of the matches end up feeling similar. And because they're feeling similar and they're doing, 12 pile drivers in a night, yes, I did count once.
Wow.
Their moves mean less. And then when they finish them with a roll-up sometimes, they've gotten better about this recently, but they'll finish them with a roll-up. And it just gets so much worse when that happens. Because then they beat them down with like pile drivers on the concrete. Their finishing move 3 times. And then all of a sudden the schoolboy beats them. It's like, what? What are we doing here? Yeah. And I think that can fatigue a lot of people with AEW. TNA, biggest thing that I've seen people talk about is how they feel much more subservient to WWE. And because of that, they've had a lot of changes internally. I think TNA now might be going into something that could be better. But I don't know. I don't really know. But we gotta wrap up quick. And we gotta get out of here, unfortunately.
Yeah, guys, I'm sorry. I have a quick emergency I have to take care of. Fans, I'm so sorry. Bruzzi, real quick, give the fans the trivia answer.
The answer is B, Ric Flair.
Oh, yes, I got it right.
July 29th, 2002.
All right. All right. Beautiful work, guys. I am so sorry about this. Fans, for all our schedules, everything that we do, the way to get in contact with us, go to www.inyourhowse.com and go check out all our friends out there and everything we're doing. Thank you for joining us here at In Your Howse, and we will catch you next Tuesday.
See ya.